Now, for more on India's stance in this conflict, we are now being joined by Ashok Sajjanhar, a former Indian diplomat from New Delhi. Sir, thank you so much for joining us on WION at this hour. My first question to you, as we understand, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Russian President have held talks. Tell us your assessment of the same and what should be India's stance in this escalating conflict.
You know, right from the beginning, what India has been advocating is that, that there are legitimate security interests of several parties. You know, Russia has been talking about its security interests. Of course, Ukraine also. It's a sovereign independent member of the United Nations. So it has also its security interests. So we have advocated recognition of legitimate security interests of all countries. And we've said that all issues should be brought on the table, and through diplomacy and dialogue, all issues should be sorted out. And this is the position that we have taken all along. We even yesterday just a couple of days ago, when the two provinces of Ukraine were recognized as independent states, Luhansk People's Republic and Donetsk People's Republic by Russia, then also we had said that there should be de-escalation, there should be exercise of restraint. So this is what we have been advocating. And of course, as you mentioned just now in the conversation between Prime Minister Modi and President Putin, we've also underlined the fact that we have currently about 16,000 Indian nationals, including large number of Indian students, and they need to be evacuated from there. So we would need support and help to bring them either from Kiev, through Kiev, or through the neighboring countries from Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, or Romania. Use air flights from there.
Absolutely. Now, Ambassador, my next question to you. We earlier heard the Ukraine envoy to India clearly say that he wants some kind of intervention from India to play a major role as a peacekeeper in this crisis. So how should India proceed going forward? What can it do? What will be its role in in a sense, trying to douse tensions, given its close proximity to both Russia and the United States?
Yeah, you're very right. India has excellent relations with both Russia. You know, there have been time-tested, long-standing historical relations between India and Soviet Union, and now India and Russian Federation. And also for the last 22 years with the United States also. United States has today emerged as the most significant and the most consequential partner of India. So India is very well placed to speak with both these conflicting parties. So we have, and India is also today a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council for this year. And we have been taking our position. We have been interacting with all concerned parties. Yesterday, as you mentioned, Prime Minister spoke to President Putin. We know what was discussed and how the Prime Minister articulated our very strong view that diplomacy and dialogue is you said the best way, I would say the only way to go forward, because a war does not really yield any solutions or any results. Then Dr. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister, spoke to his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov.
Right.
And there also it would have been a similar conversation. And then there was also a conversation between Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, and Dr. Jaishankar. So India is in very proactive contact with all parties to the conflict, and we are trying to advise all of them, urge all of them to come to the negotiating table and start talks, because that is the only way that an acceptable, peaceful solution.
Absolutely, Ambassador. Just my final question for you. Now, the talk of sanctions that is currently ongoing. We've heard the Russian ambassador to Japan formally say that it's not possible to isolate Russia from the world economy. Yet European leaders and the West, led by the US, is continuing this threat of harsher sanctions. How will all this impact geopolitics in your experience?
Yeah, I think as far as the sanctions are concerned, they are not going to have much of an impact as far as changing Russia's view or position is concerned. It has gone into Ukraine. It will do what it wants to do, what it needs to do, whether it is a regime change or otherwise. So the sanctions are definitely not going to impact on the course of action that Russia is going to be following. And the second point is that Mr. Putin and the Russian Federation, the leadership, would definitely have factored in the impact of the Russians. They would have known that sanctions are coming. There is no way that they would be able to escape sanctions. After all, they've been dealing with the sanctions after the 2014 annexation of Crimea. Before that, the declaration of independence of Abkhazia and South Ossetia and Georgia in 2008. So Russia is used to dealing with sanctions. So they would be able to, in a manner of speaking, in the medium term, they'll be able to take it in the stride. But as far as the impact on the world is concerned, we have seen it already yesterday, although the markets are stabilizing a little bit. But the economies are going to be very severely adversely impacted. The energy prices, gas, oil, etc., those prices are going to go up. And countries which are significant importers like India, they are going to be adversely affected. Last point on this, the non-certification of Nord Stream 2, that of course is going to have an impact going forward as far as Russia is concerned, but then Russia will be able to benefit as a result of the rise in energy prices. We've seen from $95, $96 a barrel of Brent crude, it increased to 104 yesterday. So gas prices will also rise, Russia will benefit. And if it is not able to supply to Europe going forward, China is a huge market. It's an insatiable hunger for energy. So it'll be able to. So I think in the short term, there might be an impact, but the world economy, although I feel that it should be focusing on dealing with the COVID-19 impact and the energy and the health crisis as a result of that, but it'll have to face this also. And definitely the developing countries would be very seriously adversely impacted by this.
Absolutely. Ambassador, thank you so much for speaking to us on WION World is One.
Thank you.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.